The addictions of today that we are not focusing on or talking about are destructive. In this video, let's go over each one and at the very least raise awareness of them in yourself and strengthen your rich mentality. Scrolling, eating, drinking, more scrolling, Netflix, porn, TV, and even more scrolling. This is called living in the state of excessive consumption. Mindless activity that gives us temporary pleasure. This is why most people are addicted to consumption. But do you know what this is doing to your brain? It's frying your dopamine receptors, bombarding your mind and nervous system with way too much. This is why you can't focus, can't sleep, lose motivation, struggle to be present, and etc. Humans aren't meant to be exposed to the amount of stimulation the modern world brings, which is why those with a rich mentality advise us to exercise the virtue of moderation. Moderation means not overdoing things nor underdoing them. Remember, you can stay happy as long as there are no corresponding pains. The wise man drinks a little to attain pleasure and replenishment, however, not so much as he will cause himself a hangover or ache. Epictetus from Manual 51, quote, "How long are you going to wait before you demand the best for yourself and in no instance bypass the discriminations of reason? You have been given the principles that you ought to endorse, and you have endorsed them. What kind of teacher, then, are you still waiting in order to refer your self-improvement to him? You are no longer a boy, but a full-grown man. If you are careless and lazy now and keep putting things off and always deferring the day after which you will attend to yourself, you will not notice that you are making no progress, but you will live and die as someone quite ordinary." End quote. Welcome to Rich Mentality. If you're interested in improving your financial future, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if this video is helpful. Scrolling is one of the worst things people can get trapped in each day, now in the modern day. It's a vicious cycle of unproductive consumption. One of the best ways I found to work against scrolling is the same thing I've told my kids. Start with every 10 hours of consumption you produce for 1 hour. It doesn't matter what, but be productive in some way for at least 1 hour for every 10 hours of consumption. That should be an easy first step. I would say the bare minimum goal to work towards, though, is for every hour spent consuming, you spend an hour producing. Eating. Mindfulness is the practice of listening to internal cues and increasing awareness. Learning to recognize the signs of hunger, such as an empty feeling in the stomach or an inability to concentrate, helps a person determine when it's time to eat. Recognizing the feeling of fullness or satisfaction can help a person identify when it's time to stop eating. As familiarity with the sensations of hunger and fullness register, this process becomes easier to identify. There are tips to help practice mindful eating and increase eating enjoyment. Use smaller dishes. Large dinner plates and bowls tend to encourage overeating because of the amount of food they hold. By swapping to smaller sized dishes, single-serving portions look more substantial. After eating, pausing for a few minutes to take note of hunger or fullness before dishing up another serving helps establish mindfulness when also preventing overeating. Eat slowly. Avoid distractions by turning off screens. Instead, take the time to connect through conversation or enjoy quiet self-reflection during meals and snacks. This allows for more awareness of what is eaten and helps with food enjoyment, digestion, and feeling gratitude. Portion servings. Avoid eating directly from the package to create awareness of portion sizes. For example, serve several whole grain crackers on a plate with a few pieces of cheese and some apple slices for a savory, satisfying snack. And as always, look for the deals and coupons the rich mentality way. Drinking. I have a beer every now and again myself. I don't think I can speak too much on this one. As I mentioned earlier, drink in moderation. Netflix, TV, and subscriptions. I'll mostly just touch on the monetary part of this one as we already spoke to producing versus consuming. TV and subscription services add up, and they add up fast. A great way to compartmentalize that consuming habit is to set it up as a reward. Go ahead and cancel every single subscription you have. Then, when it's time to reward yourself, start a free trial of the subscription service of that show you've been wanting to watch. Consume it all within the trial period, then cancel it. After all, the entire season should be readily available by the time you are treating yourself. And finally, for porn, I'll just give you an excerpt from Jordan Peterson. Quote, "So don't substitute the false for the real, and don't underestimate the utility of deprivation. What do we need to drive us forward to have the adventure of our life? Well, some deprivation, that's for sure. That heightens desire and drive, and maybe you need that. You're afraid to approach a woman. Well, you remove part of your drive with pornography, and so now you don't have that sexual urge to overcome that anxiety. And so you stay tended for your entire life. Maybe not, but maybe." End quote. Ask yourself these 3 questions every day. What did I do right today? The first reason of asking this question is to reward yourself for doing something good. The second reason is to keep doing what you did, as doing good improves your character and gives you a truly fulfilled life. Ask yourself, what did I do wrong today? The idea is not to beat yourself up for doing bad, but to learn from your mistakes and to never repeat it again tomorrow or the day after. How could I have responded differently? After evaluating what you did wrong, the next step is to contemplate on what you could have done better. Maybe you became angry at your partner today. How can you respond in a better way in the future? Always remember, between stimulus and response, we have a choice, and in that choice lies our happiness. Stay tuned to the channel to become more and more comfortable with a rich mentality with each video. Thanks for watching.